It may have been the perfect storm for Cole Sager. Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the CrossFit Update Studios. Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez and Pat Sherwood. Pat, you have said this about these events that feature these skilled movements at the end. Don't say it's over until these events happen, because these skill movements like legless rope climbs can really throw a big monkey wrench into things.
Until you actually see somebody handstand walk or see them climb a rope with no legs, you can't make that call. And I know I've had a lot of head trauma, but was this very similar to what happened last year out there in the West?
It is. It's almost a near identical finish where just people just falling off by the wayside, other athletes jumping up 4 or 5 spots. I mean, I've had a few concussions myself, but
likes to bring the drama out there, man.
Yeah, nothing is official, but it could not have gone better for Cole Sager in that final event. We'll get you back out to the West in just a second. But first, we want to recap what was an exciting final event in the men's competition out in Atlanta, Georgia at the Atlantic Regional. Here's the leaderboard after 6 events heading into event number 7. Travis Mayer held on to the final spot. Daniel Petro, Jeff Evans, and Gary Helmick, all single digits back. All very much in contention. Chandler Smith and Aaron Hanna needed a ton of help to get in. Event number 7 started at a breakneck pace. It was Ben Smith keeping pace with Jeff Evans.
And he was chasing down the top time from an earlier heat, which happened to belong to his youngest brother, Dane Smith.
We were curious, this year he actually tested the workouts for the first time ever. He showed up healthy. How would that shake out after 3 days of competition and 7 events? It happens with Ben cruising to the games for the 8th time. Incredible, just 25 years old.
Smith gets the win, 2 minutes 41.18 seconds. Now Travis Mayer had some work to do, got a no rep, kept moving, and Travis Mayer would come across the finish line in second in the event. He has a time of 2:44.63 seconds. At the left of your screen was Gary Helmick. He out-sprinted a couple guys, and that was key for him. So was this. Jeff Evans on his final rope climb. Watch his hands. He makes the touch with his right hand, lays clamp, and then he grabs the rope. That was a no rep, and it cost Jeff Evans the event win. Evans would finish in 5th, and he misses going to the games. The qualifiers for the Atlantic Regional, led by Ben Smith, started the weekend with a win, ends the weekend with a win. Noah Olson will finish in 2nd. Travis Mayer jumps to 3rd. Jacob Anderson is going to the games, and Gary Helmick going to the CrossFit Games, as is his wife. We'll have more on that in a little bit, but for Ben Smith, it's another regional win.
So the reigning and defending champ going back again at the top of your game. Was there more pressure this time around after winning the games last year?
I put the same amount of pressure on myself every year, so I go out and I expect to win, regionals and everything. When you compete, you want to win. So, yeah, I put the pressure on myself, and it's the same every year for me.
Tell me a little bit about you trying out the events ahead of time this year.
Yeah, I mean, we were given the tests, so might as well practice them. And this year, the competition's gotten so good, and this region especially, there's so many games athletes here, and it's a really competitive region. It comes down to every second counts, so you gotta practice them if you're given them, and I'm looking forward to the games where you don't get to practice them beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
In addition to there being a lot of games athletes here, also a lot of Smiths here. Your 2 brothers competing this weekend. What was that like for you?
That was awesome. I mean, Alec and Dane were competing. Adam was competing. Lindsay and Rachel from our gym also were competing. So we had a good group here, and it was just so cool having everybody here. And it wasn't just me competing. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really proud of all of them. So,
a family event. Congratulations. We will see you in Carson.
Ben Smith is healthy. Ben Smith wins his regional, and Ben Smith is a danger now to repeat as the fittest man on earth.
And he looks like in the form you would expect from the champion from 2015. And now this makes counted 6 times that he has taken 1st place at regionals.
Just makes me excited for the games now.
Yeah, we know the 5 men who are going to be going to the CrossFit Games from the West Regional. Let's get you back out to Portland, Oregon for the official announcement.
Welcome back. Man, it has been an exciting day here at the West Regional, and we're about to find out which 5 men have qualified to represent this regional at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games. Did Cole Sager do enough to move up from 9th to 5th? We're going to kick it down to the floor for the announcement so that you can find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you your top 5 athletes here at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games West Regional. In first, with 623 points, Brent Fikowski. In second, with 553 points, Ben Stoneberg. In third, with 547 points, Lucas Parker. In fourth, with 534 points, Samuel Quant. And last but not least, with 511 points in fifth, Cole Sager! Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up to the top 5 athletes at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games West Regional. There it is, your overall results on the big screen. You see how important that last event was. Your 1 through 5s on the big screen one more time. Give it up for your top 5 athletes.
So impressive. What a way to wrap up the weekend. They couldn't have made it any more exciting. Congratulations to Brent Fikowski on his first event win, first trip to Carson.
Yeah, unbelievable job. I have never seen so much up and down. Yeah. The fact that Brent was just able to do such a great job. The fact that Cole Sager was able to overcome a 31-point deficit. Yeah. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. Great job by all those athletes. I definitely think they found the right 5 to go to Carson out of this region. Great job.
I agree. Well, thank you for watching our coverage of the 2016 West Regional. For Jen Duncan and Bill Grundler, I'm Justin Judkins. Thank you for watching. We're going to send it to Santa Cruz in the update show. They're coming up next.
Cole Sager on the final event gets himself back into the games, and the cool thing is he's going now with his training partner Samuel Quant.
And Sam isn't just his training partner. They actually met because Sam's from the same hometown as Cole as well. So to be able to have him join with him in Carson, it's nice to have like kind of your understudy, I guess, because Cole's the veteran now. But Cole, man, pulling it out 2 years in a row.
And that was a veteran move. And I don't want to say that I didn't believe that it could happen, but I didn't think he was going to go. I didn't think he was going to pull it off, quite frankly. But for him as a competitor to go out there and to believe and say, hey, you know what? I may or may not go, but I'm going to fight for every second and do everything that I can. And he did exactly what he needed to do. So my hat's off to him.
I guarantee you, this final week we're going to see a lot of athletes with chalk in their pockets after that.
I agree.
I mean, that was a small thing, but it was a great move on his part. Let's get you back out to the Atlantic recap. More of that on the women's side of things. The qualifiers from there, it was Emily Bridgers who led wire to wire. She's the only woman who scores more than 600 points. Anna Tunnicliffe is going back. Meg Reardon makes her first trip to the CrossFit Games. Christy Adkins is going back to the games, and Aaliyah Helmick joins her husband in the CrossFit Games as well. But Emily Bridgers won 3 events, including the first one, and she's heading back to Carson.
Emily, you were the top spot contender for the entire weekend, clinched your spot early, in fact, but that didn't slow you down in the end. How did you push through right to event 7?
everybody keeps telling me that it looked easy, but nothing about this weekend was easy. I would say this, out of all the regionals I've done, was the most mentally tough. But it was very nice to not be super stressed going into that last event, because just watching that final was stressful to me. But holding that top spot this weekend was an honor.
You've got a couple weeks until the games, Carson, in July. How does your training differ between now and then?
Well, first things first, I will rest my back for a little bit, make sure everything's healthy, and then get more into the running, odd objects, training in the heat, all that kind of good stuff.
Prepare for the unexpected. Well, congratulations. We will see you in Carson.
Emily Bridger's so consistent. I mean, she never finishes lower than ninth place, and she can be someone who can do some serious damage when she gets to the CrossFit Games.
I hope this comes off as a compliment, because it's supposed to be.
I know where you're going here.
In my head, she's like this ferocious, like honey badger Wolverine of fitness that just goes into regionals and just tears everything up and fights till the very last breath. She amazes me. She's now won her region 3 times. And I texted her after all this was over, and incredibly enough, I asked her first thing, hey, how is the back? And she said, I can't explain why, but it feels better after regionals than it did before, heavy deads and everything. So that just is more of a mystery. She's incredible.
Well, for the first time ever, we have a husband and a wife going to the CrossFit Games. Gary and Aaliyah Helmick both qualifying out of the Atlantic Regional, and we talked to them afterwards, and each was happier for the other person.
Making it as a couple is amazing. I know I wanted it more for her than I wanted it for myself this year. And right before my event, I was wiping away tears from crying because she made it. So it was an emotional weekend, and it was like that in 2013 when I made it and she just missed it. So it's a great year for us.
Lauren. Yeah, as soon as I found out that I got 5th place, I was now focused on his last heat. He performed amazing, so I thought there was a good shot, but I wasn't sure how everything was going to pan out with the scoring, so I wasn't going to get my hopes up too much. But overall, I think we just put a lot of faith in our training and in God, and we just kind of went out here and performed how we knew we could perform.
My apologies to Matt and Cherie Chan. They have been to the games as well, so this is the second married couple. But regardless, a great event for them at the Atlantic Regional. Aaliyah and Gary Helmick both finished 5th, so there's going to be no bragging rights here. Now we can wait for the games for that to happen.
It's going to be a happy car ride home.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that they each wanted the other one to go more than they wanted themselves, but it's got to be just fantastic for them to be able to share this moment together.
Absolutely, and for Aaliyah Helmick, just finally getting over the hump of qualifying for the games. You saw that Gary had been to the regionals twice, and he qualified both times. But for Aaliyah, it's been a little bit more rough of a road. 2 points away and 1 spot away in 2013, 2 spots away in 2014, 2 spots away in 2015, to finally just kind of have that nail in the coffin despite what might have been a rough finish in the final event. I mean, it's got to feel great, and you got to feel happy for him.
Let's go to the team qualifiers, and there were some pretty impressive performances in Atlanta over the past 3 days from that side of the house. Team Seoul went wire to wire, 803 points for them. They're followed by Hustle Hard CrossFit. The 12 Labor's Lions, who had a great final couple days, they finished 1st, 2nd, 7th, and then 1st in the last 4 events. CrossFit Bound is going, as is the CrossFit Squad, but Team Seoul, they will be a force to be reckoned with in Carson.
We'll definitely be keeping our eyes on them from the very first event to the last. They were never in danger. Maybe if a team beat them here or there, it wasn't by much. They never struggled with a single solitary event. Like we've said so many times before, if you want to excel in CrossFit, consistency is king, and this team 100% epitomizes it, breaks that 800-point barrier. To put it in perspective, CrossFit Diablo Anejo had 822, 4 first-place finishes, 803, 3 first-place finishes, so they are right up there in the mix.
All right, back out to Portland for the women. 5 women we know from the West who are going to the CrossFit Games, and they are led by Carleen Matthews. She wins the regional with 605 points. She's followed by a pair of Games veterans in Emily Abbott and Margot Alvarez, and Carly Fuhrer and Christina Verhagen making their first appearances at the CrossFit Games. And Carleen Matthews, and we got to give Pat credit on this one, as we were talking about this regional going in, you said it, this was the one woman who could possibly throw a wrench in the Abbott-Alvarez battle, and she did just that.
Once a year and nail it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to hand it to you, Pat. You picked this one perfectly. Outside of a 14th in the snatch, she really just kind of hit the gas pedal after then and never looked back. She followed that up with a win in Regional Nate. She was first overall starting in day number 2 after the 3-4 combo. 5 of the next 6 finishes after that 14th were inside the top 5. She's got 2 event wins, a couple of second place finishes. She just showed another level beyond what she did last year qualifying as a rookie, and I think she's just hitting a good stride.
Yeah, saw some event records fall over the weekend. Here's what happened today as far as the event record goes and where we sit heading into the final week of regionals on event 6. Cara Webb's mark of 10:53 she set in week 1 still stands. Brent Fikowski, he sets an event record 10:06 in event 6 for the men. In event number 7, it's Alethea Boone for the women. That mark still stands, 3:08, and then Con Porter, both in the Pacific Regional, both with great performances in event number 7. A couple fit families were going at it in the Atlantic Regional. We had the Smiths, we had the Andersons, and we had the Helmicks. This is how they stacked up against each other. Ben Smith, of course, the top performer for the families. Their average event finished really close, but the Helmicks will have bragging rights because they are sending 2 members of their family to the CrossFit Games.
It's just a testament to their relationship. The Helmicks both face some adversity to get back to the CrossFit Games, and I think you wonder how people can go through that adversity over and over and over again, but then you saw in that package, their bond and their support of one another just showed exactly how they're able to do that.
And now the Andersons have to feel good to join that group this year. And then, of course, on the Smith side, you've got a champ in the mix who feels so good. And then the dad strength with the deadlift we saw during the Masters online qualifier. So all those families are no families that mine want to tangle with.
And when those 2 younger brothers get a couple more years experience under their belts, they're going to be probably just as scary.
They're animals, absolutely
as Ben is. 1 week to go in the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games Regionals. Next week, 3 more, 2 in North America, 1 in Europe. In the Central in Columbus, Ohio, Rich Froning and CrossFit Mayhem Freedom start the defense of their affiliate cup. In the East, the 2015 Fittest Woman on Earth, Catherine Davidsdottir, first time she's competed in that regional. Matt Fraser also is there. And in the Meridian, Bjorven Carl Gudmundsson on the men's side. On the women's side, it is loaded. Annie Thorisdottir, Samantha Briggs, and Sarah Sigmundsdottir, just to name a few. Should be a lot of fun to watch. Tickets are still available, games.crossfit.com. And, of course, you can watch every heat of every event live on the game site. That's going to do it for us for today and for the weekend. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. We hope you enjoyed all the competition. From Miranda Oldroyd, Pat Sherwood, and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we will see you next week.